This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour on tap. A lot of college basketball. We'll talk some NFL. Door 1 or Door 2. Thanks for watching, as always, on YouTube TV, listening on SiriusXM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. And we will begin talking college basketball on tonight's card as Paul Stone joins the program. Follow him on X. He's at Paul Stone Sports. He's the defending champion of the college basketball contest that starts this weekend. And plays are going to be out with Tim Murray on the Saturday morning show, which is 9 to noon Eastern time. Paul, good to talk to you as always, my man. How are you?
Good, good to be with you guys, Mitch and Pauly. Today's my anniversary, Abby and I's anniversary, and she said, "Do we have special plans?" And I said, "Well, man, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be on with Mitch and Pauly on VSiN at 5 p.m. Eastern." So celebrating my anniversary with you guys, but in seriousness, we're going to go have a libation and a meal when we get through visiting and talking about the great sport of college basketball.
Yeah, I like that. Honey, here's the deal. I'm going on Follow the Money. You can go back to the other room and watch if you would like, and I'll talk to you later on tonight. So we only have one marquee game on the schedule really tonight with a couple of ranked teams in action, Michigan State and Purdue, but we're gonna get a little dirty here and go to the much lower leagues in college hoops tonight. Let's begin with Liberty and Kennesaw State. This game was floating around Flames -2 throughout the morning. Now here we are getting closer to tip time, and it's pick 'em at several spots here against Kennesaw. And Liberty has 23 wins on the year. What do you want to do with this number?
Yeah, at 23-4 and 15-1 in Conference USA, Liberty holds a healthy 4-game lead. I think there's 4 games to go. They can clinch the Conference USA title, regular season title, with a victory tonight at Kennesaw State. And the Flames, they're actually coming off their first conference loss of the season. A really embarrassing showing by Liberty. Yep. They lose on their home floor by 21 points, 94-73 to Western Kentucky. So I would think Liberty head coach Richie McKay, he's in his 13th season there in Lynchburg. I would think he has the full attention of the Flames. I would expect a real strong bounce-back effort. I think, at this time of the year, it's very important for us to not, suffer from recency bias or become a prisoner of the moment. They've played 30 games or so before that decisive loss. So I think we're going to buy, you want to sell high and buy low. We're going to buy low here on the Flames. And they've been really good on the road. They've covered or won all 9 games on the opponent's home floor in conference play. Been showing, improvement all year. I think they're the best team in the league. And something else I'll bring up, the point shaving indictment that unfortunately came down in January. I think Kennesaw State was probably the team that this season, their on-the-floor product was probably impacted more than any other team in college basketball. They lost their top player, Simeon Cottle. Cottle averaged 18 points a game last year. Through the first 17 games this year, averaged over 20 points a game. So that has dramatically impacted Kennesaw State. I like Liberty to get the victory tonight at Kennesaw.
Okay. We really like the Big West, and they've done well in the tournament, winning games over the course of the last 20 years. The story last year with UC San Diego was fantastic. State the case for UC Davis tonight, please.
I'll tell you, way back, I'll start, talking about their opponent who's traveling to the mainland, Hawaii. Way back on November 4th, Pauly, the opening day of college basketball season. We had over 150 games that day. Greg Peterson, Hoops, could tell you the exact number that day. But Hawaii traveled to Eugene to play Oregon. They lost to the Ducks 60-59 in that opener. They didn't play another game on the mainland the rest of the calendar year. Their next road game on the mainland was actually January 1st. And that's not atypical of the Rainbow Warriors non-conference schedule. They play a lot of games at home. They have budgetary issues because they have to do so much travel, not only in basketball and football, but in other sports. So teams love to come to Hawaii. So they play a lot of home games. But what I think it did was they got off to 11-2 start, and I think it was a little bit misleading. I think they were a little bit overvalued. And in fact, I believe that's been the case. They're 4-4 straight up in their last 8 Big West road games. They've lost at Cal San Diego by 14, Cal Santa Barbara by 13, Cal Irvine by 11, and Cal Northridge lost to them as well. They lost all 4 of those games by double digits. They lost to Cal Irvine in overtime, so that's quite misleading. And this Cal Davis team may be a little bit lower power rating than the composite of those 4 teams that Hawaii lost to on the road, but still in that same category. I think Hawaii is a little bit overrated. I think Cal Davis gets the victory tonight on the mainland over the Rainbow Warriors.
Okay, you're going to have plenty of plays, obviously, like everybody else, on Saturday morning, again, when Tim Murray hosts the show here on VSiN for the first weekend of the college basketball contest. You are the reigning champion. You defeated Tim Murray last year. He came in second. Future-wise, what are you looking at this point as March is now this weekend?
You know, I'm glad I didn't have to take Tim Murray into the low post, Mitch, because he's got about a foot on me, and it would be ugly. So, you know, futures-wise, looking at the teams that are available right now, usually I'll start out by saying this. It's better typically to get your futures early before the season, you know, when the price is still right, you can get some value. But this Arkansas team, back before the season started, they were, you know, in the 25-1 range to win the national title. And today, as we're about to enter March, they're 50-1. And I think that's a little bit, you know, of value on Arkansas here. You look at this club in a year where we have so many outstanding true freshmen. I mean, we have more this year. I think we have twice as many great true freshman players, performers than we typically have in a college basketball season. But Darius Acuff Jr., he might not be the best of the bunch, but he's certainly among them. 22.2 points per game, 6.2 assists per game, better than 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and also averages right at 3 rebounds a game. So Acuff, for those of you, the viewers and listeners who watched the game last week at Alabama, the 117-116 double overtime victory by the Crimson Tide, Acuff good for 49 points in that game. He's a scoring machine. They've got Trevon Brazile underneath. That guy defends the basket as well as almost anybody in college basketball, almost 13 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1.6 blocks, and 1.5 steals. So he affects the game in a lot of ways. So I could see Arkansas going a long way in the tournament. And they have a pretty good coach as well. Coach Cal's won a few college basketball games and been in that tournament before. So I think Arkansas at 50-1 is a good value. And then a shorter shot, the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a team. It's hard to believe that early January they lose. I think it was their conference opener they lose. They're 9-5. They're not even ranked in the next poll in either of the 2 major polls. And since then, they've just been, you know, dominant. They're 13-1 straight up in their last 14. Those 13 victories during that string have come by almost 19 points a game. So they're not just defeating SEC opposition. You know, they're manhandling their opposition. You got veteran players who've obviously they're the defending national champions. So Thomas Houck's been there before. Alex Condon, just a great front line. Ruben Chinyelu. Down low, maybe the nation's best interior defender. So Florida, pretty much market wide in that neighborhood of 10-1. I think Florida's a team that could repeat and raise the banner again in Gainesville.
Totally agree. By the way, this is the program that could repeat for the second time going back 20 years. They did it in, 06 and 07 with that unbelievable team under Billy Donovan. A couple minutes left here. Paul Stone's our guest, professional sports bettor. Follow him on X at Paul Stone Sports. You also have a couple of futures here in college baseball. I'm absolutely all ears. I don't have a team in the portfolio yet. Who do you like at this point, maybe to win a conference / the whole thing?
Well, you guys know me, and I think you know that I went to the University of Texas. But unlike some people, I'm more apt to bet against the Longhorns than I am to bet on the Longhorns. But there's an exception to every rule, and this year's University of Texas baseball team is that exception as far as my futures betting portfolio. Their second-year head coach, Jim Schlossnagle, he once upon a time, I want to start with this, once upon a time, Schlossnagle, I think in the 2002, maybe 2003 area, he was the head coach at UNLV.
Correct. And
he was covered by a young Cub reporter working for the Review-Journal, Matt Humans, covered Jim Schlossnagle. I think that was Schlossnagle's first head coaching job at the major college level. Maybe not Matt's first newspaper job, but he covered Schlossnagle there. at UNLV. Anyway, Schlossnagle, he's a guy who's widely regarded as one of the best coaches in all of college baseball, closing in on his 1,000th victory. I think that's going to come sometime in early March. But he's a guy who last year, in his first year in Austin after coming over from Texas A&M, under his tutelage, Texas got to number one in the polls, probably didn't deserve it, but got to number one, won the regular season title in the SEC, faltered in the playoffs, actually lost to Texas San Antonio in the regional round of the playoffs. But this Texas team, they are clearly a better team in Schlossnagle's second season. Some of that due to the addition of a couple of players, and there's more, but two key additions through the portal. First of all, their catcher, Carter Tenney, a guy from Notre Dame. He was coveted by everybody, the most coveted catcher, certainly in the portal for college baseball. Great defender, has some stick as well. 3 homers through 8 games so far for the Longhorns. Their new center fielder, Aiden Robbins, he's a guy who started 96 games total in his first 2 years at Seton Hall. He is a kamikaze defender. He's already made some highlight reel catches, probably going to be their best offensive player for Texas as well. He's a guy who's hit 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, just really a great addition. And then their closer, Thomas Burns, throws 97, 98 every pitch. Ball moves all over the place. 3 2/3 inning, 9 strikeouts of his 11 outs. You can get Texas to win the national championship plus 1,600 there at FanDuel. And then at DraftKings, I like this one even probably more. At DraftKings to win the regular season title, the SEC regular season title, Texas at plus 600. I like the Longhorns at plus 600 to win the regular season title as well.
I love it. Now, that's dynamite info right there in analysis. Paul, thank you. Best of luck tonight and this weekend, okay?
Hey, see you guys soon. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Paul. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Yes, we have some more news. Sad state of affairs in the NBA with these tanking teams. We'll get to that coming up in a few minutes. We got a really good tweet on the golden goal scored by Jack Hughes. Before I get to that, can you rehash the story that you told in Win-Lose?
It's on TNT, and they said, "What would you do with the golden goal? Where is it?" He goes, "I know who has it, who doesn't have it. And that's me. I don't know where it is." To me, that's incredible. And Darren Ravel, who's used to be at ESPN and now is in the memorabilia business, he's just shocked that, I mean, you understand the assignment. You have to plan that out, and it's someone's job, and who knows where the puck is. I'm blown away by that, too, with how much this stuff is going for in auctions, or just to have that, knowing that what that means, and we win gold for the first time in 46 years.
Or to have that in the Hall of Fame, or to possibly have that up in the mantle, whatever it is. And I talked about this earlier. Some experts have said with the Sidney Crosby golden goal back in 2010, various people chiming in, but they said between 500,000 and 5 million for the goal. Again, you never know what somebody's willing to pay for it until it's actually like on the up for auction. This is a great tweet from Brad. You can always send in your tweets to the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. Brad told us once they showed the replay of the golden goal, I told my dad to keep an eye on Jordan Binnington. Laugh out loud. Remember when he, quote, pretended to steal Ovechkin's record-breaking puck?
Yeah.
He did that for a minute, didn't he?
That's excellent.
Yeah. Little magician in there between the pipes, although he couldn't save it.
Who knows who has it? That's crazy.
Could it be him?
Could have been maybe the ref took it.
Sure.
Scooped it and ran off in all the excitement, because the celebration went on and on and on, and it was a madhouse. It's a yard sale. Sticks, gloves, everything on the ice.
Well, by the way, if it comes up on the secondary market somewhere, you're going to know it was a referee who took it. Right? See if they can quickly scoop, 500,000 on that. We also got a tweet that said the Kirk Gibson home run still people don't know.
No way.
That's what somebody said on Twitter. Yeah. That's 40 years ago now, 39 years ago.
But because the one thing that I remember, it was wild when the Cubs won the World Series. To have to think about this and know it when it happens. Rizzo catches the ball and immediately puts it in his back pocket.
Oh,
I'm going to need that's going to be worth a lot of money. Got to hold on to that one.
Do you think he was aware of the surroundings?
Yeah,
knew the moment. Paul, this
heady
is
play, absolutely heady play.
This is man. So it's a back-to-back for the Sacramento Kings tonight. They were absolutely blasted by 30 against Houston last night. Surprise, surprise, was never a game. So now they're in action again tonight. They're catching 7.5 against a really bad Dallas team that's without Gafford, Lively, Cooper Flagg. And for tonight's game, the Sacramento Kings have listed out Russell Westbrook and Keegan Murray, and Malik Monk has been listed as questionable for the game as well.
How long is DeRozan? How long does DeRozan play? That's the other thing.
In the last game, DeRozan played. Well, that was last night. He played 24 minutes.
Yeah, see, that's what kind of surprised me But Memphis also did such a great job tanking in that game where the lineup they put on the floor was ridiculous. We would have had a shot. That team was so bad.
Right.
And that was the game they actually said, okay, let's just get a win here. We've lost 16 in a row. And that's when they were up 10, and DeRozan and Westbrook played in the fourth quarter. But the cushion's small now. Kings 13 wins, Pacers Nets 15, Wizards 16, Utah 18. Dallas, Memphis also tanking 21, and we know the horrible run the Bulls have been on since they had the fire sale.
How about the total in this game?
Yeah, I know but
just go
I know
under
with pace, but that's I can't do it,
man.
Because I think about the pace and no defense, and it's going to be like a summer league basketball game.
But you're going to have so many bad players on the court.
Well,
I shouldn't say that because if you make the NBA, you're a really good player.
Now, if you got guys on like the 10-day, two-way contract, whatever it is, that's one thing. And that's some shenanigans, what some teams are doing now, and why Tim McMahon and others called it out and say, you can't do this.
You want a little...
But there's talented guys that are playing tonight. I see points, and I still think when you look at it from a prop standpoint, that Marshall has to eat. Middleton's playing well.
He's been upgraded to probable, by the way.
Yeah, and Bagley, your guy Bagley, and Bagley's been cleaning the boards and been scoring as well.
Yeah, I took him tonight over 23.5 points and rebounds. I laid 14 cents with that.
Neek, you going back on Clifford?
See, that's the thing I was going to bring up. The last time I did it, man, it was just a disgusting performance. But he scored last night, and he played 29 minutes. He had 15 points. The one game that I bet on him, it was the worst game that he's had like in this whole stretch. I'm going back right now to find the entire game log from this kid, and I liked him a lot coming out of Colorado State. I thought because of the makeup of the Kings going into the season was so bad that he was going to get a pretty decent run here and a chance to showcase like his overall skills. The game that I bet on was against Orlando. He was 1 of 5, didn't take any shots, but he had another stink bomb after that. But 2 nights ago against Memphis, 2 games ago, he had 12, 6, and 5. And then last night at 15, 2, and 1. How about Devin Carter? He didn't play last night. Coach's decision. But I will also point this out, that when Nick Whalen was on the show on Monday, he said the 2 guys to bet on, he got the Murray points prop was wrong, but the Renaud rebounding prop went over, as did Precious Achiuwa, and Achiuwa had 10 rebounds again last night. With that many big guys out for Dallas, you want to go to war again with those 2 players going over the rebounding prop for Sacramento? Probably going to be plenty of missed shots here tonight.
Yeah.
It is a tricky... Boy, look at that Kings roster. Oh,
yep.
It is vile and nasty, man.
Porter go off tonight for the Nets as they figure to get blown out, but how many guys can score with the Nets against this great San Antonio defense? Now they got another OKC loss. This is real that they can get the 1 seed and track them down.
Oh, it certainly is. That's, 10 straight, you said?
But will he be in, if it's close, is he in there in the fourth quarter?
No, probably not. That's the problem there. That's the tricky part about trying to figure out like all of these really awful teams. And it's pretty similar overall with the Utah Jazz. There's no Keontae George tonight. He's out. There's no Lauri Markkanen. Did you see this? Now, this is how bad it is for the NBA. They're sending independent doctors over to examine Lauri Markkanen.
I don't know if that's true. I think the guy corrected. Would you have a problem with that?
Well,
I mean, that is
yes, I do. But it just tells you the state that Adam Silver allowed the league to get to here. Okay, you know what? That was corrected earlier today.
Yeah.
The NBA did not send doctors over there. You're right. The league will still evaluate the results overall. So I'm going to take a peek at what Utah is going to be looking at there with the team doctors.
Well, yeah, it's wild what's going on right now. The other one is, how about our guy Grimes is back at it for the Sixers in a game where teams are trying to win. The Sixers at home against the Heat, and the Heat number one in pace. And our guy Grimes has been doing it now. Again, not bashful, taking a lot of shots. 15, 19, 11, 14. He had 14 against the Clippers as well. So he's back after they had that great run last year while they were tanking that. He was the guy scoring. So Grimes is a guy to look at, too, maybe, for the Sixers. And what's a good game, and they're a small favorite at home with a sky-high total.
Let me give you this number on the Heat as well. They are, I believe the number is 9-5 ATS last 14 games. And in that stretch, Paulie, did you know that they have the number one defensive rating in the entire NBA? They've also recently played, they played Milwaukee the other night. Now Milwaukee's playing great basketball, but they beat Memphis by 16. They beat Atlanta by 30. They beat New Orleans by 12. They lost to Utah. They beat Washington by 30. They beat the Bulls by almost 40. They lost to them. They played them a couple. That's going way back now to the end of January. But so that's the stretch of teams that they have played. If Embiid is going to go in this game tonight, which he is, I think he's like leaning in that direction. Philadelphia here at play at the small number.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Yep. Malinsky special in Orlando. They're back home. A week-long 4-game West Coast road trip. Rockets laying 3.5. Do with that what you want. Also, I think the Blazers cover, and it goes over. Again, the fire sale and the disaster in Chicago. Number one, the Bulls have been horrendous on offense and defense. Portland has been bad defensively the last month. 234.5 the total. And again, the Bulls are 1-13 straight up and 2-12 ATS. Had a close loss at home against the Knicks. Other than that, they've been getting bludgeoned.
Yeah, and now Klingon might not go tonight. Downgraded to questionable here.
Yeah, he's got the flu. I still have to take Portland to go against the
I think so too.
Tanking Bulls, sitting everybody.
Well, could this be a situation where, and again, this is, if you pay attention to the NBA full time, I think you pretty much have to if you're going to bet the sport like every single day. Some of these teams are keeping it close at halftime. The Bulls did that exactly against the Hornets in their last game. They were down by 1 and they got killed by 30. This could be another spot. Not every game plays out this way, so then it would be a pass. But some of these teams that want to tank, such as the Bulls, the Kings, they finally got one of the wins against Memphis the other night. They're okay. They still got a little wiggle room here. If these games are close at halftime, there's nothing wrong with waiting until firing on the second half or firing live. Those are good bets to make. Mm-hmm. Another one might be the Wizards tonight. If they're playing the Hawks and it's close, Atlanta might be a consideration there. Up next, Dan Leberfeld is going to join the show. Dynamite job covering the National Football League for SiriusXM. The Jets wouldn't consider starting the season with Spencer Rattler. Would they? We'll ask him on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Time to hit some NFL here. Big fan of our next guest. Joined us in studio last month. Does a dynamite job covering the New York Jets and also the NFL for SiriusXM NFL Radio. His show is called Press Coverage. You can follow him on X at Jets Whispers. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Dan Leberfeld on the program. Hey, Dan, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's always great to be on with you guys.
The feeling is mutual. ESPN had a big story yesterday. A bunch of different people contributed. They predicted the Week 1 starter for every single quarterback in the league this upcoming season. For the Jets, they went with Spencer Rattler. Come on, that can't happen, can it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's the way they would go. I think he's probably better than some people will give him credit for. I think that at times there in New Orleans, he didn't have the best supporting cast, and the teams weren't very good. But no, they can't do that. And you know what? I don't think it's that important to make personnel decisions based on the fans. But if you can marry the scenario where you make a really good move and the fans like it, especially when your stadium has a lot of empty seats. I mean, they can't sell Spencer Rattler with a 1-7, 1-13 lifetime record. That's not going to happen. And he's not, he's undersized, bounced around in college. I think he's a good backup.
Are the rumors and the hype, is this true with Simpson, that he could get in the middle of the first round?
Yeah, I think so. I think with Ty Simpson, he's probably a little undervalued. That Alabama team could not run the football. I don't think he's a quarterback that can put the team on his back and throw 50 times and lead you to a victory. But if you give him a balanced attack with the running game with a good defense, you can win with Ty Simpson. I like the fact that his father is a college football coach. He grew up around it. I think that he's a little better than what we saw late last year. So I think with a good combine and a good series of workouts, he certainly could move into the first round. I don't know about the middle of the first round. I was thinking more like Jackson Dart vicinity later in the first round.
All right. Yesterday, Mel Kiper mocked Ohio State safety Caleb Downs, number 2 overall, to the Jets. He's the first guy I've seen mock Downs there at number 2 overall. That's like between 30 and 45 to 1 to happen right now, various sports books. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't think that's going to happen because you just – it's not good business to pick safeties that high. There's so many good safeties around the league that were picked later in the draft. Just one guy that comes to mind, not that he was great, but he's very good. Jordan Poyer, 7th-round pick, played forever in the league. You can find those instinctive safeties later in the draft. You don't need guys that run 4.4 at that position. The instincts are the most important thing. And you know what? You could get Dylan Tierman out of Oregon later and get a really good Dylan Thiemann, or out of Oregon later for late first or early second, and get a guy that can be a star safety for you. So no, I don't see that. Jets have to get, they obviously they traded Jermaine Johnson today, the edge rusher. So that kind of makes you think that edge rusher could be the way they go with the second pick of the draft. I think they do need to add a safety. I just don't think that high.
The Colts gave Richardson permission to ask to look for a trade partner. What do you make of Richardson right now, and what do you think where he could wind up, and if a team would be interested in him?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a lot of interest. I don't think he reads defenses very well, doesn't go through his progressions well. He didn't even have a winning record at the University of Florida, and he didn't have a lot of starts. It was a really bad pick. You got the sense, and may he rest in peace, that Jimmy Irsay was really the driving force behind that selection. And I had heard that, unfortunately, Jimmy passed, but if he was still around last year, they probably would have been still rolling with Anthony Richardson. That's how much Mr. Irsay believed in him. So that was kind of a Jimmy Irsay pick. That's what owners do. We've seen it with a lot of teams where they fall in love with the size-speed ratio. The guy looks the part at a central casting. But that guy is not a starting NFL quarterback. I'd bring him as a backup, maybe get you through a couple games, but not a long-term starter.
Okay.
He just doesn't see the field well enough.
Fair enough. What happens with Kyler Murray?
That's another guy. Why would you want to trade for that? I mean, we all know what happened a few years ago when they gave him the contract extension, and before he signed it, there was the clause in the contract where they wanted him to work harder, watch more film, and that was in the contract. Then there was a media uproar about it, and they took it out of the contract. If you have to put in a contract, a guy needs to work harder, to be your quarterback. That's ridiculous. So why would another team want to acquire that? Why would you want a 5'10" quarterback who can't really see the field from the pocket, needs to roll out, needs to get out of the pocket to make a lot happen? And, his camp is always leaking stuff, and now they're saying he didn't talk to Monty Ossenford. That camp is very chirpy. I don't know why you'd want to take on that headache. All
right, good opinions. So what happens in Atlanta then? Walk us through what Stefanski in Atlanta could do at quarterback.
I don't understand moving on from Kirk Cousins. I have to be honest with you. I might have gone with Kirk Cousins for a couple of years and made the other guy wait. I mean, what has the other guy really proven? Seriously, when you look at that quarterback situation with Penix, I just don't understand what. Now, the new management there seems to have their heads screwed on straight. Ian Cunningham is a guy highly regarded around the league. Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. Matt Ryan's a smart guy, but to me, I'd rather go with the veteran Matt Ryan for a couple of years. And because remember one thing about Penix, this guy's had so many surgeries. He's blown out 2 knees, 2 ACL surgeries, had shoulder surgery. Who knows how long he can hold up? He's kind of a house of cards. So I would have kept Cousins around. But so they're gonna have to get somebody else because Penix got hurt relatively late, so I don't think he'll be ready for week 1. But if you're a quarterback on the street, who are you going to get? I mean, Tyrod Taylor is always the perfect hold the fort guy, so maybe Tyrod Taylor.
Well, how about this? Is there a chance Atlanta could start the season with Malik Willis, or do you think there's going to be kind of a bidding war for him?
But that's another one I don't get. I understand this time of year, it's almost like teams get amnesia and they don't look at the film enough because, like, I remember last year, a year ago, when the Jets were thinking about getting Justin Fields and all the fans were talking about what a great idea. He got a raw deal in Chicago. It wasn't coached well there. Didn't have enough weapons. And then in Pittsburgh, he did go 4-2. Yeah, but they were winning, working around him. Yes. It wasn't because of him. So the point is people get so desperate this time of year. Fans, reporters, even team executives are like, Malik Willis. I mean, come on, guys. What are we talking about here? If like I was saying to people, if the Jets signed Malik Willis, Mike Vrabel will be laughing at him in the division. Mike Vrabel didn't want to put that guy on the field.
He's going to get a lot of money, though, Dan.
That's how desperate the league is for these quarterbacks, and the sample size is too small. I think Malik Willis is one of these guys, and we see this with backups, where they go in for a couple games, they get you through a few games, but if they have to be the long-term guy, the opposing defensive coordinators figure them out, and they get shut down. You've seen that with a lot of different guys in the league where, yeah, a couple games, fine. The longer they play, the more they figure it out. I think that's Malik Willis. So I know he's going to get a lot of money, you're right, but I wouldn't do it.
No, he's probably going to get between $20 and $35 million a year, if you can believe that. I think, honestly, if something happened to Jordan Love, like right away in the season, I think Matt LaFleur could make it work because Malik Willis has looked way different as a quarterback in Green Bay than he did in Tennessee. But also, if he goes somewhere else, I don't like – I mean, it depends on – like, I'm going to say that I'm going to be negative on way more teams for his ultimate landing spot than I would be positive.
Yeah, especially with the kind of money he's going to get. The expectations go up. People are going to expect him to be a franchise quarterback. And that's the thing about these contracts. Well, you guys know it. You guys have been doing it a long time. Because you pay someone or you overpay them, they're not going to be better than they are based on the contract. So I think that's going to be an issue for Malik Willis. If he can go to a place, I mean, we're seeing these offensive coordinators now, Ben Johnson doing a wonderful job with Caleb Williams. You look at Liam Cohn with Trevor Lawrence, and I'll even bring up Kellen Moore, down in New Orleans with Shuck. The guys that these brilliant young offensive coordinators who see the game through the eyes of the quarterback, they set up confidence-building play calling. They set up easy throws. They manufacture production. If Malik Willis goes to a place with a brilliant offensive coordinator that can make the game somewhat easy for him, yeah, he can make all the throws. He's got tremendous speed. But if he goes to a place where they don't have the infrastructure, a team could be asking for trouble with that signing.
1 minute left. I think we all agree on this, too, and you tweeted about it. The Texans GM, like unsolicited, brought up it'd be moronic to trade C.J. Stroud. We just saw the meltdown in the playoffs. Davis Mills saved their season. Everyone needs a quarterback. Imagine the haul they could get for him.
Yeah, I would consider trading him. I mean, that was one of those things, sometimes I've been in a million press conferences. They come after you, they try to make you look an idiot for the question. There was nothing wrong with the question. I thought his answer was a little over the top. No, it's not moronic to trade that quarterback we saw in the playoffs. It wouldn't be moronic. Now, you don't want to give him away, and also the advantage they have is I don't think they're going to do a long-term deal, guys. So they're going to have him at the end of his rookie contract. So I wouldn't give him away, but I would consider trading him if they were blown away.
Great spot as always, Dan. Thank you for the time. We appreciate that.
Anytime, guys.
Follow Dan on X. He's at Jets Whispers, Jets Confidential Magazine. Up next, all things considered, now might be the time to buy low. Door 1 or door 2 coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's time to play everyone's favorite Follow the Money game. Live from the VEASAN studios.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
This is door number 1.
New high score! What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What's that mean? Did I break it?
Or door number 2.
Get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
Here's Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard.
Pauly, I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to come back tomorrow night. OKC plays Denver. I might be wrong, but if not, he's going to be back early March. Door number 1 here. I think now is the time to buy low. Would you go SGA MVP? He's in the minus 125, minus 130 range, or Thunder to win the West at minus 125?
If you asked me that a couple days ago, I would have gone door 2. But now if he comes back, because I think he can miss 5 games, that's it, I'd have to go door 1. Because Joker's out of it, Luka's out of it, and then it's, Cade's breathing down his neck. But he had such a big lead, speaking of SGA, with the last Bontemps straw poll, that I think he'll be able. And I have to be concerned with the record head-to-head against the Spurs.
Right, and Denver is going to be tricky as well.
Well, yeah.
I
Different
think
team with Gordon, but I'm concerned about their issues defensively. But certainly they were fortunate to beat him last year in the conference finals.
Can we agree on this? If SGA comes back and he doesn't miss any more games and he plays 65 plus, he's winning the MVP. That straw poll is going to be difficult for
I
right?
agree. Yeah.
That has been a good litmus test over the years.
Yeah, but I think how the plays out at the end of the year with the record is going to be big too. How many games do they lose? Does Detroit pull this off? Does San Antonio run them down? It's getting close.
Door number 1, Con Kneppel to win Rookie of the Year. 2-1 is actually a little bit lower than that at some spots. Or door number 2, Joe Mazzulla Coach of the Year, plus 450.
Door 1 all day. Bickerstaff's out an incredible job. So is Joe, I know.
Yeah, right.
But if Detroit's going to get the 1 seed and maybe run away with it, and now you got the news that Cleveland's got guys out tomorrow.
That news is James Harden's questionable, and Donovan Mitchell already ruled out.
Yeah. So if they can forget about the 1 seed, if they have the best overall record in the league, I think it's got to be Bickerstaff. And then Flagg's out again tonight.
Right.
So they just what Utah's done to George and how Denver is just Dallas is kind of punting on this Rookie of the Year with Flagg, and the guy's missing another game. That Kneppel is on a team that's likely to make the playoffs, and he's knocking down all these threes at a historic rate. It's going to be door 1.
Right. I wonder how voters will look at that, the end of the year results with Charlotte's team success compared to Dallas and the lack thereof there. Or do they just throw that out the window? Because Kneppel's going to have the numbers to be right there with Flagg overall anyway. Door number 1, we just talked about this with Dan Leberfeld. He kind of shot it down, but I'll throw it. It's now 45-1. Caleb down, second pick overall in the draft. Mel Kiper mocked him there yesterday. Or door number 2, Kansas to win the national title at 25-1.
Well, Dan also tweeted about how the hype is real and the love affair with Downs. Who was the last safety to go that? What'd you say?
I saw Eric Turner, 1991.
Wow. I'd still go door 1. I just think there's too many issues here with Peterson, and you don't know what you're going to get game in, game out, and I have to count on him in the uncertainty for 6 games in a row. Can't do it. Not to mention, I'm not going to have a great seed either.
Well, what if I told you the same thing I just said about SGA? And they might get a 3 seed, and he doesn't miss any more games.
Well, how many minutes does he play, though?
Oh, it's,
it's
28 to 32.
You
would not be scared of Kansas if you took the big 3 versus the field? Duke, Michigan, and Arizona?
Well, they're a good team, but I still think with the hype and the value here, the history's against me. But number 1, I think the big 3 is so strong. Number 2, I think the steam is real here, and maybe whether it's someone comes up, it gets him at 2, or the Jets decide, you know what, we're sitting there at 16 as well. Maybe we take him at 2, or we trade back, and, or move up from 16 as well.
Door number 1, Miami of Ohio. To finish the regular season undefeated, minus 158. That's the new number. Or door 2, Michigan to make the Final Four, minus 145.
Yeah, boy. 3 games left. They play tomorrow. Are they laying 9 again? I haven't even seen the number. Is it out? They're on the road against a bad team. Then they play Tuesday and Friday again. 1 more home game.
I told you what my Miami source told me, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good. About Ohio on break.
Ohio's on spring break.
And then you'd be going for the undefeated regular season.
And so the Miami of Ohio fan base has already planned the trip to go there and overtake the gym and probably storm the court if they go undefeated.
Yeah,
I have projected numbers right now from Bart Torvik. Tomorrow night, 11.6 point favorites against Western Michigan. Tuesday, 12.5 against Toledo. Then a week from Friday, 7 against Ohio.
I got to go door one. Michigan's awesome, but it's hard to do. And this is also a tournament where it doesn't this is not like the NBA with the best of 7. A lot of times the best team not only doesn't win, but they don't even make the Final Four and upsets happen. I got to go door one.
Hello, Duke last year.
That's right.
Weren't they the best team?
Yep.
Door number 1, Shohei Ohtani to win the National League MVP, minus 135. Or door number 2, Dodgers to have the most wins, minus $2.
I got to go door 1. Easy. Number 1, he's too good. He's going to put up ridiculous numbers, and the Dodgers, whether it's injuries or just long hair, don't care. Something where they don't worry about, let's just get to 99 wins and 895 wins, call it good.
Can they have the most wins in baseball if Shohei gets hurt? Because that obviously would be the one way that he definitely would not win the MVP.
They could still do that.
I think so too.
Yeah,
they're probably deep enough.
Sure they are.
And apparently they make a move.
Yeah. What would you do? They make a move.
I'd go Ohtani MVP. Because
that's unbelievable. Look at that number. That's insane.
What are we doing here?
I know.
But also,
I was looking yesterday. It's like Soto's like 9-1, 8-1, second choice.
But if you were the sports book, what would you offer on Ohtani?
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't want to offer even money on them.
Yeah.
So, door number 1, more baseball here. The Yankees to win a loaded American League East at plus 180, or the Yankees to completely miss the playoffs, plus 205.
Completely miss.
You have to overcome the Blue Jays, the Red Sox.
Love the move. Yeah, Boston's a good.
And Baltimore. Baltimore had some really good additions in the offseason.
But to miss the playoffs?
So then you would need what?
Put Detroit in there.
Detroit? Can you get there with Kansas City? I know Adam Burke loves them.
Yeah.
But in the West, you could see a path for Seattle and certainly Texas to be better.
Yep.
Did I talk you in? I'm sorry, I was leading you in the wrong direction here.
Door 2.
Okay.
Door 2.
This is right up your alley. Again, door 1 or door 2, you get one or the other. You can watch Heat 2, but you have to miss the next 3 Super Bowls. Or door number 2, you can never watch Heat 2, but you get every single Super Bowl for the rest of your life.
I'm already there. There's no way this movie can live up to the hype that we're in. There's no way. What the guy tweet? Bale and DiCaprio in Heat 2 is like the stripper really does like you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then it's just Bradley Cooper and this is, and I love Michael Mann, and the first one was almost 3 hours. But how can this movie live up to the hype? With the cast, this is going to be door 2. Got to go door 2.
You can never watch Heat 2?
But the Super Bowl, though. I mean,
well, you can just.
I can't miss that many.
How many would you be willing to miss to watch Heat 2?
What, the trade?
Is it 1 for 1? You'd miss next year's Super Bowl if you could watch Heat 2?
The better question would be something Game of Thrones oriented back in the heyday.
Yeah, but
or Sopranos.
But there's no show out now. Like, what show is really? I thought about that actually. That's the direction I wanted to take you in.
Yeah, it's different because with a show, you're talking 6, 7, 8 episodes year after year. The wait, the rewatchability. Here, it's just 2.5 minutes, whatever. Door 1, Pacquiao Mayweather 2, or door 2, Carano Rousey. We finally get that. Again, we're doing it. Why would we wait so long? What took so long?
Is it just I have to bet on one, or I have to watch either one?
Just one. One you want to watch?
Oh, good Lord. Give me door 1.
This
Carano Rousey doesn't really move the needle at all for me.
Way too late.
Oh, Jesus,
Way too late. McGregor, Pacquiao, way late. But Carano Rousey? Oh, they missed a boat on that one.
You think?
They blew that big time.
Honestly,
that would have been a monster.
I'm trying to think in my head right now, the timeline of that should have been made when? Like, when was Rousey a big deal? 2013, 2014, 2015?
Entourage was still going on.
Yeah, so that would have been, they should have made the fight 10, 11, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're betting college hoops, Now's the time to get your edge. Hoops Peterson on tomorrow. Getting fun now. Conference tournament start next week. Get VSiN Pro access through May 1st, just $29.99. Hoops Mania special. First bid goes out a week from Saturday. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The AI-powered prop tools. The March Mania betting guide. Breakdowns, trends, strategies, picks. If you're betting college hoops, give you a real edge with VSiN Pro. Sign up now, VSiN.com/subscribe. VSiN.com/subscribe. Great deal. Hoops Mania, $29.99 through May 1st.
All right, another huge hockey card tonight. VSiN's NHL betting analyst Jonathan Davis on the program. His takeaways from the first night back after the Olympics last night, and a very intriguing prop up on Nathan MacKinnon and the Avalanche that pays higher than 10-1. I'll ask him about it coming up next.